I am surrounded by.
I'm often surrounded by.
The entire system is surrounded by
Freaking idiots.
Yo, I drilled or I used the jigsaw.
Oh,
and then
I see the cut.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Legit, right?
Right. You on some Melvin Gregg.
Wait, Melvin B.
Bro, you don't what? Bro, his
Melvin
Instagram.
does woodwork?
This nigga could build you a house, bro. No, like dead ass. Like his Instagram is more like carpentry than anything. Like he has a whole ass movie theater inside of his house. He built it.
Wait, we're talking about Melvin
Gregg. Yes, literally.
Since when did this nigga start doing this?
He's been on Instagram. Like when I tell you how like, you know, Will Smith became more famous for his like Instagram videos in the last couple, like that's Melvin. But building shit.
Hold on.
You gotta go.
I'm looking this up because this is crazy.
No, he builds shit. I guarantee you, first 5 videos is gonna be building shit.
Gregg.
Gotta
Okay,
have
let's
some
see.
building shit. Not even gonna look.
I'm gonna put it on the.
I'm not even gonna look.
The first few were like him. Him, family.
Oh, okay. He has a
whatnot.
boom, building shit.
Building.
Told you.
Since when? I never knew. Yo, I used to I see this nigga like when you're out at events and shit that, and I never knew this part of his life.
And it's so funny because I'd be wondering if he does it for other people, but I have yet to hear anyone else say like he does work for them. He just does it for himself, his family. Like, nah, he does it like full on power tools, gardening, all of it. Like, right, bro.
That's
plumbing. Everything, like,
bro, I have a new. I already respected the man. Like,
same.
Shout out.
When
Melvin,
I found this shit out, I said,
what the
wow,
fuck?
Yeah, crazy. Look at that, and it's crazy because like I could probably YouTube and it would take me years, but he popping this up and like let's do this week. That's not happening with me.
Like, he grew up doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what. So hold on, I want to see Melvin build one more.
No,
thing.
you gotta. I wish he had the movie. I wish that was like soon. But yeah, he built. I saw
built
this.
My son a sandbox.
Yep, I saw this. I was like, damn. And it's crazy because what kills me about him is he makes the shit low key look easy.
Yeah, I'm.
You know what I mean? It's like if I had like I just gotta measure some shit and then
I just ain't got mulch.
Right. Boom. Like, you know what I mean? But then when you really think about it, like the layers of ingenuity and thinking to do this is like I don't have the time.
Using this jigsaw, I don't know if you realize how wide that gap is. Look, it was but
it made it fit. If you want to go wider, you can. You feel me?
You listen. So you know my dad, he's a electrician and a plumber and all. But like carpentry work is not like he doesn't enjoy it. Right, he doesn't want to do it. So he has a bunch of carpenter friends.
Right.
I am not like when it comes to carpentry work.
That's not your thing.
It's not really my thing because also I never had the until I need it.
Right. You don't have a want. You don't just be like, let me build. Well, you're not Melvin Gregg. Let me build some shit.
I'm not built like that.
Right.
I don't know if Melvin Gregg make beats. Yeah, nigga.
Right. That's what I do in my spare time. Spotify account.
So listen, that was too good of conversation, so I had to keep going. But listen, you deserve an intro.
Okay.
Today, this man has been a part of some of the coolest moments in television history.
Man.
Not only has he been working longer than me. That's right. We're talking since 91.
Don't age me.
91? Nelson Thibodeau on The Cosby Show. Young Carlton on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's done Living Single, Family Matters, ER, Party of Five, Seventh Heaven. He was the voice of Sam, a.k.a. Squid, in the iconic Rocket Power People. Nelson and Even Stevens, voice of AJ in Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron. Now the voice of Pearce in Batman, The Long Halloween, and the voice of Adonis Creed in the new Creed Rise to Glory video game. Oh, and he did a Pepsi commercial with Beyonce. We're talking about Gary L. Gray.
What up, bro? That's a resume rundown, bro.
Bruh.
That was
what?
incredible. Yeah. No,
I used to walk around thinking I've done some shit. My SAG starts in 96. I ain't never worked. I mean, it's debatable now, but I ain't never worked with Cosby. That ain't never happened for me.
Right, yeah.
This is pretty fucking
on that
cool.
set,
I've never been on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Bro, what? Rocket Power? Wiggity, wiggity, wiggity,
Woogity, woogity.
wiggity, wiggity.
You know, exactly.
Come on, bro.
Exactly.
Like,
nah, I'm thankful.
These
bro.
are, bro. Like you are a part of multiple people's childhoods.
Yeah.
And man,
I'm a part of my own, honestly.
Right.
You feel me? Like I think I'm just lucky enough to been doing shit long enough and stuff that has a quality where I'm like, yo, I rock with that too.
Right.
Like, you know,
Right.
like I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you trying to tune in. You feel me? Like it's good.
Bro,
So
I
I'm
mean,
thankful. I'm thankful.
It's just you know how much Even Stevens I watched?
Dang.
Like,
yeah,
bro,
Even
you
Stevens.
like man.
Nah, that was a fun one too. I mean, shout out Christy Carlson Romano. I was just on Vulnerable. You feel me?
Shout out.
But yeah, no, I feel like Even Stevens was such a flash in time because I didn't know how big Even Stevens was when I was on it. Like, you didn't really understand, and like when you hear talks when you're in the schoolroom of like how we're doing in ratings with Lizzie McGuire, and you're like, wait, that's like the #1 show, ain't it?
Yeah.
You know, and so we're like, oh, okay, you know, start to get the rumblings, and you're like, dang, okay, and then now where it has such a crazy cult following, it's like, it's crazy.
Well,
it really
those
is.
were the big two. It was Lizzie McGuire and Even Stevens, and then what was?
I mean, That's So Raven.
Oh, that. But
Yeah. Wait.
weren't Lizzie McGuire and
No,
Even
that's-
Stevens a little before?
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't. I don't
That's
remember.
true.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
That's
You're
So
right.
Raven
You're right.
competing for my time.
No.
Yeah, that's.
That's why I thought we were talking about just greats in general.
Oh,
on the channel.
but see, that's okay.
At that time, yeah, it was just those two.
It's
for
those
sure.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's crazy. No, I mean, we loved being in that kind of, you know, jostle spot, but I feel like, you know, you really couldn't go wrong. 1A and 1B. You feel me? So
Right.
yeah, they were just both great in their own right. Yeah.
Well, you from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
So
Obviously.
You know what? I did another podcast yesterday, and I wore, you know, Dilla, Sherman.
Yeah.
I wore his hoodie. Everything dope about
Yes.
America comes from Chicago,
Yes.
and I wish I would have wore it today.
Man, no, I
'Cause that
gotta
would've
give me one of those too. By the way,
Man.
he's incredible,
Man, he's
incredible,
the
bro.
man.
Yeah, but no, shout out Fake Decent who
Fake Decent?
yeah,
Fire.
who does these. I got a drop from them a while ago and still holding up. I love these hoodies, man. Like, yeah, just great quality and just a great designer. I feel it.
But you from the city,
Yeah.
and so it's funny. Most people wouldn't know this, but so because he started before me, I actually had a signed headshot of you when you were a kid.
I think
Because
I
my
remember this.
parents, so his dad
Yeah,
was a musician, and
Yeah.
he played at the
at
Evergreen Plaza.
Yeah,
And my
Oh.
dad would always take me to the Evergreen Plaza to see the band.
Yeah, man, that's
And
crazy.
Literally, I
That's
had that
wild.
picture because my dad was like, he wanted me to go in that same path. He wanted me to also
entertainer.
go-
Yeah,
Exactly.
you are though. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
you in that path, whether you like it or not.
But man, so like, how did your parents get you started?
Yeah, I was just a kid that couldn't be controlled. Like I was reading everything, talking and full conversations like way before I should have been able to. And my parents were just kind of at a edge point, and they put me in school, and I was in kindergarten at the age of 3, and I went to a school on the south side called Park Vernon Academy. It's like around the corner from Morgan Park.
Okay.
And yeah, and like basically the people who worked there were just like really interested in getting me into other things because they was like, this kid is ridiculous. Like, why is he like this? So I started modeling. And Cleo Johnson's School of Charm, which is also on the south side, I went there and started my modeling career, and I ended up on Runway. And I was doing a fashion show for, I used to think it was Guess, but then I think I looked back at some pictures and I figured out it was actually Tommy Hilfiger. But I was doing a Tommy Hilfiger show, and I was on Runway in New York, and the producers of that show were also producers of The Cosby Show. And they plucked me and was like, you know, we would be having the twins grow up from being infants to toddlers in the next season, and we think your son would be perfect. And my mom was like, no thanks, and like thought they were like just joking or like scamming, and like we flew back home. Yeah, swear, and we got a phone call from the producers and from Bill himself, and they were like, we are very serious about this, and we would like to have him come out to New York to read. And I did that and flew out, and the rest is history, as they say. So I was out there for 2.5 years. Just first flight over was the last flight. Like literally put us up in a hotel. We got an apartment, you know, the next like couple weeks later, and that was it. And I was doing, you know, chemistry reads with the whole cast and within a matter of like weeks. So yeah, whoa. 3.5. That was it. So it's such a crazy, and like I really I resonate with people who you know hit the block and like really gotta work at getting in the industry and like hitting like, you know, random ass workshops and you know, and gotta get all the headshots and reels and all that stuff before they get any piece of this industry, you know. Right. And I've always been lucky enough to have that kind of story where it's like, bro, it just kind of came to me. So I always acknowledge that, and I'm always thankful that it, you know, came to me in that way though. So I recognize that.
But it was supposed to.
Yeah.
There's no, I think a lot of times when people get started, they get started later, and it gets more diluted. I feel like
people can take advantage of you in different ways.
Exactly, exactly, because you're now old enough to you don't have your parents,
right?
And then you're old enough to understand all these other things you think you want, and like no. So starting young, same thing. I think my parents started me young. Like you kind of bypass a lot of that bullshit.
You do.
Because it's either like he can do it or he can't. It's that simple.
I'm so glad you said that though, because a lot of people always ask me that question, like, oh, like I say I was a child actor, and they go, oh, are you okay? Like, like, bro, oh, you fine? You know, like, bro, I'm good. You know, but I think that it has such a bad stigma, and I think that number one, there's way more successful child actors than unsuccessful child actors. But we don't hear about the successful ones because you don't hear the bad stuff. So you just don't even think they were child actors, but a lot of them were. And then, you know, with the negative stuff, like you said, they weren't young enough to have that watchful eye, you know, over them 24/7. And so they were just old enough to kind of be considered like kind of adult. You know, you see the Drew Barrymore stories and stuff, right? But, you know, we didn't have that. We were so young that our parents were like, no, I need to be in every step of the way involved, you know, 100%. And we had that kind of protection and nourishment without control, you know what I mean? And I think that's also a different sort of path that you can take negatively where the parents are too involved, you know, at that stage.
Because they wanted to be there.
Oh, yeah, you know, and so you could do that. But I think we were that perfect middle ground where our folks were like, yeah, we want him to succeed however he wants to, and we're just going to support that. And man, look at where we are now, I guess.
Hell yeah. So did your mom travel with you, or was it your dad?
My mom. Yeah, my dad stayed back in Chicago, and, you know, and was just handling everything. And then my mom was just always on the road with me 24/7. So yeah, shout out to her, just always being the person, just, you know, being there every step of the way.
Going to
auditions, you know, 3 times a day sometimes, you know, especially out here in LA where you got traffic, and one's in Santa Monica, the other one's, you know, downtown, then the other one is kind of South LA. You know, like, you know, you're ping-ponging all kinds of different ways, but shout out to parents who really can rock with you.
And make it happen.
Cultivate that, exactly. Yep.
So after you did Cosby, what was the post-Cosby? Was it like a bum rush, a bunch of people calling?
No, it was insane. Like I mean, it got to the point with Cosby, like I wasn't able to be in New York, like just out. Like there were times where we would just go to the toy store and like they would end up shutting stuff down because they'd be like, the twins, because at the time the girl twin who played Winnie also lived with me and my mom. Her parents let her, you know, stay with us and, you know, kind of be a thing to where they didn't have to come and they could have someone keep a watchful eye on her. Right. So, you know, it would be to the point where my mom would take us out and it would be, you know, we wouldn't be able to be outside, like, and it was for real. Damn. So after that, I instantly went to like a ton of like guest star roles that were just crazy influential. And I didn't realize at the time, obviously. Yeah. And it's so funny because I just talked about this on Twitter, but I did Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, Living Single, and I'm missing one. Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, Family Matters. Yeah, all before I turned 7. So yeah, that was just literally, and I got off of Cosby at 5.5. So basically the other 3 were just 2 years. I think I did Living Single and Family Matters in the same year. Okay. And yeah, it was just an insane run, you know, and just all of those also were recurring except Fresh Prince, actually. Okay. So it was just cool being on those sets. You know what I mean? Like those are great sets, you know. Living Single just alone was just, I mean, and I've made lifelong friends from all of those sets, you know. Damn. So it's just crazy to have those connections still, to just be able to be like, I was a part of that. I was a part of that history.
And what strong Black shows.
Man.
Like, it's, you know, because it's one thing, you know, ending up on guest stars on, you know, shows that don't have a ton of people like you. That's one thing. But at a young age, to be in those rooms, there's no better rooms to be in.
Exactly. And that's what I think about today is like, I could have done other shows. Like, you know, there were definitely other shows out, but to do those, like I booked those shows. I like I said, I'm just super thankful. I tell people all the time, I've lived 10 lives already. Like, I'm just like, bro, whatever. If my acting career ended today, I'd be happy. I'm just thankful for everything that keeps going. You know what I mean? So
I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Because
man, The Wire, period. Just that. And I know you always hear this, but like, you don't understand how much it gets talked about.
But
like,
it's one of those things, like you said, went and did it and didn't know it was gonna.
I'm doing a job.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a job.
I'm
it's another
clock,
job,
right?
Yeah, I heard of it. But hey, let's go in and see what it's about.
Exactly.
And now, like, I won't even lie to you. I always say this. I watched it during the pandemic, like the whole thing
went through it,
and I was like, oh
yeah,
bro.
This is what they talk about.
Oh,
yeah.
People know this good.
Right,
like, you know what I mean? Like, this shit is really good.
This is actually pretty decent.
Because my show, Sopranos, bro. I'm a huge Sopranos fan. Huge Breaking Bad fan.
Yeah. I just got my girl watching Breaking Bad right now.
Okay. Yeah. Did you watch Better Call Saul?
I haven't. I'm about to start. Everybody keeps telling me. And it just ended, right?
Saul, yes.
Okay.
And I know you like nuanced stuff. So
definitely.
It's slow.
Yeah.
But it's
slow with a purpose.
Man,
just give me a purpose.
And it's great, and then it makes Breaking Bad even better because
that's what everybody says.
Yeah, Saul's not this. Saul became a sleazebag because it's almost like the industry. It can turn you.
Right. Yeah, you see that sort of point of no return where he becomes that Saul you see. No, I feel that. And I would love to watch it. I just hadn't. I was like in my head. I was like, I know once I start, I'm gonna get sucked in. I was like, I need to just cool it and just find a time where I can really go through it. So
at least
that's
now
that's
over,
my plan.
So you can just
Exactly.
I binged Yellowstone.
I started, but I did not. I definitely want to finish. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you why you didn't finish.
Okay.
So I started Yellowstone. Started the first episode.
It's like,
that's cool. All right. I see what's going on because I'm a big Deadwood fan.
Okay.
You ever watch Deadwood?
No, but I've definitely heard it. Yeah.
Incredible. That's why they keep putting my man in the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Because of Deadwood. So I watched Yellowstone first episode. Cool. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, let me give this 1883 a shot.
1883. Okay.
So that's the prequel.
Right. Okay.
And then they have 1923. So 1883 is actually Faith Evans and it's Sheryl Crow.
Okay, because I was like, I think I saw some advertisements on that, and I was like, when I saw the cast, I was like, this is different.
Yeah, they're country singers.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay.
But bro, when I tell you that they do their thing, I enjoyed.
Okay.
Enjoyed it. So went through that. Went through that season in like 2 days.
Okay.
1923. Now you're dealing with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
Right.
Like, come on.
Okay.
Fire. Went through that in 2 days. And then
I got too many shows
already. I know. Then I started Yellowstone.
That was it.
Nigga, I went through 5 seasons. 5 seasons in less than a month.
Dang.
I was like, oh nah. Like this Dudden family.
And you had a life? You had a life, dude?
Bro, editing podcasts and shit. I'm still getting shit done.
I feel you.
I'm telling you, Yellowstone.
I gotta try that.
It's like I said, I'll put it in those veins of like Sopranos type shows. Like you get lost in the world.
Yeah. Fully realized. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you gave me a recommendation. I got to hear.
What's on your list?
I always give people this recommendation because it's probably my favorite show to watch.
Okay.
And it's called Banshee. And
I've seen the ads.
Yes,
I know what it looks like.
It was on Cinemax at first, but then it switched. HBO bought Cinemax, so now it was on HBO Max. But it's such a good show. Very short and sweet. It's only 4 seasons. But the creator of that, Jonathan Tropper, was just like a master at character work. Like, and I'm a sucker for character. Like, I love me some good dialogue and character work. Like, you could really have no kind of production value, like, for real. These words, you're right, bro. I'm like, yo, you got some good scenes. I'm good. I'm there. Right. But like, man, when I tell you, just masterful work, and you know, there's definitely some aging to it where, you know, it was made, I think the first season was 2014. Okay. So yeah, it's a little, you know, a little, you can tell it's dated a little bit, but man, when I say it's such a good ride, like the story is just crazy. It's about a thief, a notorious thief. He gets locked up for 15 years. When he gets out, he goes on an instant search for the person that got locked or didn't get locked up with him, which is his ex-girlfriend. Okay. He finds her in a town. She's changed her name and all that. He goes to a bar, and there's a guy that's about to be sworn in as the town sheriff. He gets killed, and the thief takes over his identity and becomes the town sheriff.
Oh, what year is this?
This was in 2014, but it went for 4 years.
What era does it take?
It's modern. It's modern.
Oh, it's modern.
Yeah, it's modern. Oh. And it's just a small little hick town in Pennsylvania. So that's super small town. Because I was about to say, how you get There's literally Amish people, you know, that live in the town. So there's a big, you know, just Amish storyline. There's like an Amish crime boss. Like, bro, when I tell you, yeah. I'm in. It's like, it's really it's an action show. I tell people it's action noir because it really feels like it exists in like the modern world, but in a separate world. I always give it the comparison to like Wanted. I don't know if you ever seen that with Angelina Jolie.
Oh yeah, with the
curved bullet. Right. You know, modern world, or like a John Wick, where it's like you can tell this is here, but it's not our world completely. So it feels like that. And bruh, I'm telling you, watch it.
Okay. You got me. Yeah. I always look for new stuff to watch because what are you're big into anime and
I mean I love it all though. I'm a huge fantasy sci-fi, you know, guy, but I love, you know, crime drama. I'm a huge like action buff. Like I love all era of action. I'm crazy with that. But yeah, man, I love it all. So I can go for round with comedy, everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so
no, I'm now stand up. I'm a huge
huge stand up fan.
I go to I try to go to like the Laugh Factory. Okay. And, what's the other one? The Comedy Store.
Comedy Store, yeah.
Yeah. I try to hit those at least once a month.
Dope. Like yeah. I have a lot of friends who flitted in with stand up. So really? Yeah, I mean that's a beast. Like it's a whole different beast. Like I try to say I'm funny, but I don't think I'm stand up.
Yeah, well it's vulnerable. You gotta be so vulnerable. Yeah, or you gotta really not give a fuck. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
there's a couple that do. That's how they feel.
And it's a lot of reps.
Yeah. You definitely got to get your feet under you, and it's just got to be one of those things you got to roll with. You got to learn from every time you do it and just keep getting better because,
it's like auditions.
Man, for real. It really is. It really is. And you know what's crazy? Like auditions have changed so much now, you know, where it's like I feel like I had to relearn how to do auditions, you know, because after the pandemic and everything kind of switched to self-tape, you know, you started trying to figure out how to make yourself look better. Whereas before you went into a room, just you, maybe some wardrobe that you got out your closet that could put you in the mode of the character, but that was it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now you're setting up lights and a set and, you know, all this kind of stuff to say, maybe I want to have an edge on another person that just sends, you know, chest shot and that's it.
Man, I mean, it's like with I realized that and how important that is with voiceover work. Yeah. So, you know, prior to the pandemic, I wasn't doing as much voiceover work as I'm doing now. And when the pandemic happened, they were telling everybody, you know, oh, you got to send in your recordings, right? So many people just didn't have setups or had no clue, especially like the you know, like older actors. They were like, audio interface, what's that? Lord, y'all got me buying oh, you was that guy?
I'm still we gonna just go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid off.
I never got a call.
I have literally no setup. All the voiceover things that you've ever seen me in book, I booked by using this right here.
Are you serious?
Just this it. I still don't have a mic. I don't have no room with nothing. I use this and a little editing app called a voice memo. Just the default editing app. Shoot it in. So when I I coach people and I tell them like, you don't need that right away. Focus on what you're doing, your performance, what you're sending, how you're sending it, and all that. The quality of all that stuff can come later. You know what I mean? Because especially when you have what casting directors are going to look for, they're going to forego all of that. They're going to hear that and say, oh, yeah. We're going to bring you back into our studio anyway to see how this sounds on a better mic. So all of that stuff, trust me, like, yes, is it good for you to have it or have access to it? I won't say that that's not a problem. Of course, that's good. Yeah. But me, 30 years, well, 20 years, 25 years in the VO game, and it's been on the phone.
Bro.
You recorded one this morning. Send it out. Look, send it out in the Dropbox. Gotta go.
Bro, that's amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, man.
Hey, also shout out, I remember that's how Chris got his power role.
Yeah.
Chris read his line. Chris D. Lofton read his lines and then responded to himself reading his lines.
Yeah, man.
On an iPhone.
And when I tell you, he manifested that role when we were staying together. And he was like, he had, the video is infamous now with him calling Spectrum and telling them they needed to cut the service back. Because we had a Spectrum outage, right? And literally, he flipped. Like, we were checking him out, and he's like, we paid the bill, right? I'm like, yes, the bill is paid, bro. Like, trust me. He's like, we paid. No, we can't have this. That's why he was so mad. Because, like, I think he would have been better if, like, we hadn't paid it. He'd be like, damn. But he was like, no, we paid this, bro. They need to cut this shit. But when I tell you, he was so mad. And he called Spectrum. He said, listen, I'm going to be real nice with you right now. He was trying to keep his composure. He was like, I sit here every week and I get myself ready. And all I want to do is watch Power, ma'am. That's it.
And he definitely said, man, that's all I want to do.
That's all I want to do. Can you do that for me? Can you? That's all. That's it. That's my little quick. Come on. What the fuck?
Yo,
shout out Chris, man.
Shout out
doing
Chris.
It crazy, man, crazy. And like that's why I was like, when I tell you, when somebody who literally told everybody, I want to do this shit, I'm gonna be on this, I want this role. Right. He said it years before it even came to him in an audition. That's wild.
He knew.
Yeah,
he
man.
knew. And
that's what's up.
And he's so good.
Yeah.
He's a really,
when I tell you, like, me and Chris would workshop just like, and I would run his lines with him and everything. I think I actually ran his Ballers. Was it Ballers? It might have been. I don't know. One of those auditions he ended up booking. I ran it. And I was like, well, yeah, you booked that nigga. No. But he's incredible. Like when I tell you, just somebody who loves, and he's such a stickler about genre. Like he wants that lane, and he's like, I'm gonna be that guy that you call like the Denzel. That guy. That's how I want my name to be remembered. Like. So like I said, shout out to him just working on his craft to the point where he is like that. Yeah. Like that scene in the last season where he was going crazy and he had the blood dripping and he was going to man, that was it. That everybody was like on Twitter, like that's his Denzel scene. Like that's his training day, So yeah, shout out to him. The Emmy's on the way. The Emmy's on the way. We're gonna manifest that one.
He gonna do it. Like he's one of those people for years. Yeah. Like I've watched him grind.
And be him.
And be him. Never switched up. Yeah. Never.
And I always pride myself in that. But like somebody who like when I be like, that's admirable. Like how much you are really just you. Like,
in every room.
I say I'm me, but damn, like you really you put that shit on every day. So that's incredible. And like I said, I really want people like that and like us to make it in these certain spaces because we have the person that's always trying to tap dance or trying to be, what they think they should be in order to talk in the rooms that they might want to be in and all of that. And, I feel like people who I was growing up around, you, Chris, Michael Perkins, all of those guys, like we have that in us where it's just not that, you know, we never feel like we have to put on or anything. Like I tell people, I just am who I am. Like my Twitter, I tell people all the time, like views are my own. Like please.
You be on Twitter,
man. Look, they be coming at me, but it's all good.
Man, coming at you for nothing. Man, I'd be like, damn.
Yeah, I was every day. I haven't actually battled anyone in the last week or so. So
well, that's right. What are your Twitter beefs usually about?
Oh man, you know, it varies. I'm very outspoken when it comes to black entertainment, you know, so
let's dive into that.
You know, like I just feel like you know, I just don't really hold punches because for me, I won't feel comfortable working with people or for people that make me feel uncomfortable. You know, and for me to kind of shed that and then become a character for you, for your production takes a lot. Yeah. And right now in the mental space that I'm at, I just don't want to do it. If there's other people out there who are willing to do that, by all means, do you. If you can do that and you can have a happy time and career and life, more power to you. Yeah. But it ain't me right now. I just realized, you know, I'm not, you know, I think that was maybe me 10 years ago, you know, where I was like, yo, I'm hungry. Let's do it. Let's whatever. I can shed that. I don't have to think about certain aspects of when this comes out. What are certain people going to think? You know, all of that. Yeah. Right now, I'm just worried about, you know, what makes me happy? What makes me happy as a performer? What are my audiences going to want to see from me? What can I give them that maybe I haven't given them? Something that I want to try. That's all I'm trying to do. You know,
I feel every word of that. Because it's,
I mean, we've been in it so long.
That's 96,
91. You get to a point where, like you had mentioned before, you had to, at a point, stop going on commercial auditions. Yeah. You've been there, done that. When we've done, you know, 50, 100 commercials. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I mean, I remember there was like, I want to say a two-year span where me and you, I think we were maybe 4, like I think you was probably 4 and I was because how old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay, so yeah, I was a little bit older than you, but we were in our respective age groups doing McDonald's like every 2.5 months. And then you would come in and do ADR for the one that I did. I would come in and do ADR for the one you did, and then we would be passing by each other, and it's like, you know, you get to that point where you're doing that at that early age. And now I'm going and doing the same stuff and the same lines, the same kind of, you know, and I look at other sort of people who get other advertising sort of campaigns that are more, you know, than that. Like, man, like shout out to Buddy who does Jake from State Farm. Cause I'm like, Kevin. Oh my dog. Goodness. Yeah. He, like, when I tell you, I'm like, that's now something like that. Give me that. Give me that.
I'll go on that audition. Exactly. You telling me that I'm going to be the face of something? Let me go in there and give this the old college try.
You feel me? But that comes once in a blue moon. Yeah. And so that's where we get that sort of fatigue, and we're just looking now for something that feeds us more than just put, like, we can figure out how to put, you know, some dollars in our pocket. Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm going to figure that out.
See, and that's my point. It's kind of like, I think is the difference too is there was a time, like probably in that time, same time I was probably down. I'm hungry, down to do more tap dancing. But I think during that time, it was different because social media wasn't a thing. Like, you weren't as connected to your fan base. So it was like, hey, just being on TV was having a reel with millions of views, or having an Instagram page with millions of views. Yeah. Like, that was being on TV.
Yeah.
Now we've seen there's so many other avenues. And
so many.
You realize with all the stuff we have now, the person I'm going here doing all this extra that's not going to change my career.
Nope.
It's going to be a cool little check, but it's not going to change my career.
Definitely not.
Not at all. Or I wouldn't be auditioning for this.
Right.
They would have called. Haven't you been in a Super Bowl commercial before?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, come on out for this one. What the fuck?
Right.
But so they're just making content like me. Now, do they have more money to do it? Do they have more resources? Yes, we know all of these things. But, you know, I'm doing some looping the other day for one of these shows, and I see more social media influencers than I see actors.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, well, I'm sure none of these people are reading for a guest star on SWAT.
Right. But it also, you got to understand too, I looked at it like they also can pay certain people certain things. They can also promise them certain things that me and you would never go for. You know what I mean? There's so many jobs that I look back and I'm like, when I turned it down or when I said otherwise or decided to go on a different audition or whatever, and I'm like, I'm glad I did that. Because especially now you see, I mean, with the SAG strike.
Yeah.
And you saw all of those actors come out and really tell people like, look, this is what I be getting. Right. You know, and it's like, man, like I'm thankful, you know, that I'm really trying to curb that and try to make sure that I take care of myself and that these productions that I sign on to are doing that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I feel you. That hungry time will get that cloudy. You know, you just start going, man, well, I have something.
I could use this.
And this might be on this network and this might, you know, and now it's like, all right, where's the promise? I need something in writing. I need, you know, all of that. So I feel you. I definitely do.
Man. Well, you know what? Speaking of commercials.
We gotta just. What do we have?
How dare you do everything?
Oh, jeez.
How dare you?
What is this?
Do everything,
man.
Of course, things don't want to play when you ask them to play.
I know.
Ruin the surprise.
The reveal is ruined.
The reveal is ruined. Why am I not seeing? It's YouTube.
It's stupid.
YouTube, do better.
They might. You might be good on the Beyonce ads.
What year was it?
I think it was 2013. Was I?
No, it's 03. It's 03 because it's Crazy in Love.
03. Yes, I was 16.
Crazy in Love.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know what I
said. This one plays.
That one definitely does. Oh no, it's behind the. Oh gosh.
Oh wait, what is this? This is behind the scenes. And why can't I hear you? Why can't I hear you? I don't know. We'll turn on TV.
Oh, there we go. This basically. Is it all behind the scenes, or do they show a commercial?
I want to see. I want to see you actually do the thing. What's going on here?
I was saying, go see. There we go.
See, this is what happens when you don't have a producer.
Right. Hey, this is how valuable.
This is how
valuable the position is. We need black producers. Let's go.
Man, literally though.
Listen. Right after this ad. Oh God. The hair.
Now, what hair look were you going for this time?
Listen, I did not have that hair, okay? They did all of this flattening and parting. You know, you already know. I think mine was just in a regular blowout. Like, it was, you know, just had the fade and it just was long. And they was like, they wanted you to look split it down the middle. And I look like Sideshow Bob or something. I don't know. Like, what is this? But yep.
Stop signs and then make a right if you like.
They had you record that in...
No, funny, I did that on set. That was one take that I did that. And I literally just posted about it. The take that we used was one take out of a 21-hour shoot. So we're talking probably thousands of different takes. 21 hours. I did that once. And that's what they used. I was just joking around. And so the time that you see her walking, that obviously wasn't the take. It literally is just that kind of close up. Yeah. And so I do that. I just did that. They were just like, yeah, we're just filming. Just go. And I'm just like, I'm doing different noises. So I literally just kind of revealed all this stuff. So literally the commercial was supposed to be two guys.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be me as like the attendant sidekick and then a main guy who was actually supposed to interact with Beyonce. That guy was white and looked like a gas station guy. And I said this on Twitter, no malice intended. He just, you know, you got the gas station look. I didn't have the gas station look. No. I'm sorry. To be in the coveralls, you know, like that, maybe I'm working at a Shell or something.
Like somebody's little brother who came
right in the middle of nowhere in the desert. So I'm like, I don't think I'm even booking this. And I went in there and it was the famous Joe Pitka. Like, he's a huge commercial director. He does a lot of Super Bowl stuff.
Okay.
And they were like, this is Joe Pitka. He's in there. Like, just be like, I mean, it was like a military audition. I was like, what is going on? Go in there, and I'm in there for like 5 minutes before like nobody even says anything. And I'm just standing there. And then he's like, we're going to put on the music. We just want you to dance. And puts on Crazy in Love. And I was just like, I was just vibing to it. Now, mind you, I'm a trained dancer, But in my head, I'm like, they don't want me busting out an 8 count right here, right? Do you?
I look at it so deep.
Right? Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just gonna vibe. Like I'll start grooving. I'm singing the song because I know the song.
Yeah, of course.
But and ended up not even going to a callback, I think, and just booking it. And then when we got to set, they had the guy there.
Right.
And the whole thing was she was supposed to come up. The main guy was supposed to be there, and like he was supposed to like say like, "Can I help you, ma'am?" or something like that. She was supposed to say, she was supposed to be at the machine or whatever. And then when she gets it, she's like, "Yeah, King's trying to understand." And he's just like, and then he realizes who she is, and he's like, "Oh wow." He had some lines or whatever.
Right.
And then I'm just supposed to be there. I had no lines, and literally I'm just supposed to be there and like kind of also like recognizing, and I get him to see that it's Beyonce, and then he does the whole thing, and then she walks away. So we're on set, 21 hours, and we get there, and all of a sudden, guy doesn't shoot. We hit like 10 hours, he's just sitting around, and I had already shot a little bit. We get to 15 hours, he's still sitting around. And did the whole thing, and literally they didn't use him, and didn't get in front of the camera the whole day, and I was just like,
now, why was it 21 hours? Well, I'm sure Beyonce hair makeup.
No, she was super professional, super ready when she was supposed to. Her whole team was there. Like they didn't even go into regular hair makeup. Like her team had her ready.
Right.
And she was there. And basically we were delayed. Joe Picca, he's eccentric. And so he was just doing a lot of stuff. And
what if we put a light here and then she walks by here? And then
more like, let's put a basketball court over there and let's like go hoop for like 2 hours. It was like that. So yeah.
Is Joe Picca black?
No. Of course not.
Oh, what? No. Listen.
To do stuff like that?
Yeah, good point. That should have told me he wasn't. Right. But yeah, the last nigga who built a basketball court was two that I know of is Obama.
Right.
And then
not Obama.
And then shout out to the lot on the basketball court on the WB lot is there because of Ocean's 11 tequila.
Bernie?
No, no.
Don Cheadle?
No, he's not black. He's the white guy.
Vince Vaughn.
No, he's in Ocean's 11. The guy.
Which one? Brad Pitt.
The other one.
Matt Damon. George Clooney.
George.
I gotta just name all these white people.
I can't think of a name. Yeah, George Clooney is the reason they built that basketball court.
That's crazy. Yeah. I always told myself I want to do a buddy movie like that. Just me and a bunch of people that I grew up with, just chill with, and just have it where we really didn't want to make a movie. We just want to hang out and film it. Let's put a story to it.
Sure.
Just do it. But yeah, no, it's so funny too because when I was like going through college, I actually collected for 2 years events and dialogue in a book or like a note app. That me and my buddies had for 2 years, like going out to the club, doing this road trip here, and I'm just recording just funny stuff that happens. And then I made it into a script. And yeah, and it's still today one of the funniest things. And it's based off, I'm gonna make it quick, I promise.
Yeah, no,
So the main thing in the script is that it's a party day, kind of like super bad.
Okay.
But I don't know if you know this, but so you've seen Project X?
Parts.
Okay, cool. But you know what it is. Okay,
I auditioned for it. I was scorned. Never watched it.
I could see you.
See what I'm saying?
X, right. Dang. All right. Yeah. But it's cool because you're gonna have a role in this one instead. So literally, Project X was actually a movie based off of a response party to a party that me and my friends threw out here in LA. And so everything though that you see in Project X actually happened at our party. And so I mean, everything from the car through the garage. It didn't go into the pool, but it went through the garage. The only thing that it didn't have was the guy with the flamethrower. Don't know where that came from. But the dwarf coming out of, I think, the oven, but it wasn't the oven, and it was a closet, and ours, coat closet. Everything, jumping off the top of the roof onto a bouncy house happened. Got shut down by the cops.
Really?
Helicopter happened. So yeah, it been Porter Ranch. So literally, like all of that stuff, we had the party. Through it, it was party of the year. And then I want to say like a couple months later, my phone just starts blowing up. And the party in Pasadena, so it was a party I think in Pasadena that they threw as the response party. And yeah, text blowing up. They're like, check YouTube, check. Was it YouTube or I think it was just check online for the trailer or whatever. And saw the trailer. And we were like, and at the time I was going to school with my buddy, so I'm literally running down the quad like, bro, like, and yeah, we see it, and like we even went through like, should we go legal and all that stuff, but every lawyer was crazy. There's nothing that binds you to these events. Nothing was filmed, all of that. The girl going through the window happened, and it's so funny because we posted about it on Twitter, and I think she found the tweet. And she was like, oh man, and it's so funny. We can get people to account for it.
So who threw this party?
Me and my boys. Like, yeah.
So you were living in Porter Ranch at the time?
He was living in Porter Ranch. It was his mom's house. He was. It wasn't my house. Forrest West, shout out my homie. He's the son to the songstress Denise Williams.
Okay.
Let's hear it for the boy.
Okay,
yeah, that's his mom. And it was her house at the time. And thank her heart, she let us do that. But yeah, we got it all fixed. Got it all ready.
Sure.
Yeah, his little brother was the one that drove the car through the garage, and yeah.
So people were just lit.
Oh no, like yeah, how you saw in the movie, we're out in the street, the whole backyard just full of people. Like we had a bouncy house. We were just like literally wall to wall inside the house. You couldn't move. Beer pong table was crazy. The girl that fell through the window, she fell through the back bay window trying to give a lap dance and fell through. She went, cut up her arm. She's just drunk out of her mind, and she's like, it's okay. We're like, are you okay? Do you want us to call? Like, we're freaking out. We're like, we're gonna get sued. Man, it was insane. And like, what deadass, she was just like, no, my God, it's so fun. I've had the greatest time of my life. I'm gonna go get help. Okay. Yeah. The next day, she was fine. Like we checked up on her. She was good. We had to get the window fixed. The next day.
Y'all did that all before his mom found out?
Yeah, she came back. She was due back. In the next 2 days, she came back a day early, and that's what I wrote the script about.
What kind of movie shit is that? Like
Literally, bro. I've lived 10 lives,
and I could just see your ass sliding across the floor, like.
Man, like literally, we so many things happened that night. Like we had that we found out about later. Like we had a car full of people wrapped in bed sheets as togas, drive up to the McDonald's on Balboa and order like 200 nuggets. And apparently, I don't remember it, but apparently I was told that I ordered in a Batman voice from Dark Knight. And so that's neither here nor there, but that's what happened. So yeah, it's just like I don't know. Yeah, it's just really one of those things that it just exists as just a thing in my life where I'm just like, man, that happened.
And a McFlurry,
a 20-piece nugget, extra barbecue sauce. It's just random, bro. Yeah, but just everything that happened, and then to like the next day to just go in a frenzy and be like, we got to get this done, and had the window fixed within like 6 hours. Like it was just insane. Like had a garage door company come out, give us the estimate. Like it was just was like
real adulting.
No, like, and just in the matter of like hours. And mind you, we just drank probably our weight in alcohol.
Y'all felt terrible.
And yeah, so we're just like, oh God, like please call them. We're like, Pat, no, you do it, you call. So yeah, no, shout out to everybody that was there that night.
That's
Forrest, Corey, Logan. Y'all my boys, Latin, everybody.
So what year did you move out here? When did you?
Permanently, I've been out here for like 15 years now. So okay. I've been back and forth for a minute. My parents did the, you'll go to school as much as you can back home and you'll come out here for work.
Right.
That's what we did at first. And then I did shit like Even Stevens where I'm filming most of the year. So then it was like, okay, now our permanent home is more so LA and then we'll go back home when we can. And so that happened, right around the time I would say Even Stevens. So that was like 14, just about. And just going back and forth from that point on until I was about, I'd say 21. And then I was like, all right, I'm here working. So like my mom moved back when I was 24. Okay. And I was out here.
Damn, that's, bro, I have the same. So I came out here 17 going on 18. Because my parents, same thing. They were like, you're staying in Chicago until. As
much as you can. Yeah. Yep.
But then, you know, it was like college or go chase this. So I came out here. But you're not going out there by yourself. Right. My mom came out here for 2 years. So like she left when I was like 19 going on 20. Deal.
Kind of early. Okay.
Yeah. But I was at the Palazzo. She stayed right there with me. Yeah. So I was out there early. But yeah, man, that's great. So did your mom have a job that she has to leave?
Yeah, no, she, you know, my mom was a social worker and a teacher. So she was teaching, but then, you know, kind of just fell back to her social working stuff. She has a psychology degree, so she can kind of flip between both. And yeah, she just did that for a long time out here. And then she eventually started teaching out here. So she got a job. She got accredited LAUSD, so she was out here doing that.
That's fire.
Yeah, she was good until... Like I said, I turned 21 and I was just kind of out, and she was like, "There ain't no reason for me to be out here no more."
The exact words my mom said, "Bro,
like she don't need me anymore."
She would go every day. We stayed over there, and she worked at Cedars.
Okay,
because she's a registered nurse.
Yeah,
so she would just go up, walk up to Cedars, go do that, and she was like, at some point, she was like, one day you left the house and you said, "Hey, you need me to bring you back anything? You good?"
And she said, "That's what I do."
You don't need me here.
Right.
Like, I'm just, you trying to bring me stuff back?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, damn. So then she went
I think my mom, when she started, like, going back home and, like, leaving me here, you know, and she was like, you're going to be good? You know, she come back and the house ain't burnt down, you know? I didn't throw no parties. Right. You know, so I think that was the moment where she was like, damn, okay, yeah, you're good. And then I was, like, trying to do so much then. I remember, like, I had my first car was a 69 Mustang. So I was building that Mustang up, and I was like putting money into it. So I think she, in her mind, she was like, you're doing adult things. Right. Like I can't help you. I had another car. I had 2 cars. I was like, yeah, I was doing a lot. So yeah, I think she was ready to go and raise all the new kids coming up in the family, you know. So all the you know, she was like, well, I gotta make sure they're good, you know. She's the aunt mom, so you know that was my the whole thing.
Same, man. So it's crazy. You have a lot of interest. How do you keep all those interests, like from cars to
I'm huge in the car
to games to like.
I think as I lived 10 lives. I think it just when growing up, I did so much. My mom was just trying to keep me just active, and just because I was just in the house, and like I said, the whole bookshelf, I just sit down and I just read it, and I tell my mom, can we go to the bookstore? Can we do this? Because I need more books. I need this. I need that. And she was just lost, you know, it's for words, lost for money. You're doing, I'm doing 500-page novels in a week, you know, at, you know, 7 years old, and she's like,
"Are you Cat Williams?"
right. Look, man, it's so funny because when I had seen the interview, and like I was like, low key, I mean, I was kind of like that. But I posted a tweet actually of like kind of how I was academically not too long ago, and it went viral. And a lot of people had said there was some dude that lied, some doctor dude that lied on Twitter about his history, like in education and shit. And everybody kept calling me that dude. I didn't even know who he was, but everybody kept saying, I forgot his name. Say his name is Michael or whatever. They were like, oh, this sounds very Michael-ish. And I'm like, what? I had to look it up and then find out he was like a complete liar. And like I was like, bro, no, I actually did this. I started kindergarten at 3. I skipped 4th grade. I stayed back a year in 8th grade because I didn't want to go to high school at 11, you know, and then I graduated high school at 16, you know, and so for me, like, right, and I was just so, like, I just couldn't sit still, you know. I've done everything from gymnastics to ice skating. I professionally danced. Shout out Debbie Allen, go Dada. You know, everything. I hooped for a second, you know, like everything. I did it, and my mom was just to the point where she was just like, look, just sponge it up because one day it's gonna be useful, whether it be in your career or whether it be in the circles that you get in. There's gonna be some big millionaire, some big billionaire that wants to become friends because, oh wow, you like Legos? I do too. You know, oh wow, you love love going to, you know, drift events and car culture. That's crazy. I have a car company, you know.
Bro, that's
how it is.
That's how I ended, bro. That's how I ended up at the World Cup.
Exactly. I saw that. I was a little jealous.
I play FIFA.
See, I'm a little more drifty,
doing?
but I just car culture in general, just being there. Was that your first time?
Yeah, that was the first time.
Crazy. Just being in that atmosphere, in it.
I want to go to what's the crazy shit? F1.
Okay, yeah, F1 is nuts too. The Vegas, man, so many of my friends were trying to get me to come out there, but I was like, look, prices was nuts.
I already know.
I'm good. I can watch from home. But no, like I love car culture and drifting and everything. Like I just feel like there's so many things that I see art in, you know, and that's really what it is that I just have that kind of, you know, thirst for that, you know, whatever somebody turns into their own version of a masterpiece. I fucking dig it. I love watching people do that. And so I think I find solace in everything where you can watch a master at work, you know.
You know what? I think that's I agree with that.
You know,
I think
that's they all have varying degrees of how much I'm into it, you know.
Right.
But I appreciate everything. Like you said, I'm into everything, but I might be deeper in some things, but yeah, I'm into everything because I see the beauty in, you know, in the art, and like people just love, like, man, getting into car culture. Like I said, I built my Mustang when I was 16. I bought that and bought it for 2 racks. I put 40,000 into that car, just about. And I mean, I loved that car, and so just that growing up doing that myself, and now I can't get away from car culture. Like just being with your hands and doing all that yourself and being like progress. Like I remember when this wasn't running and now it's a beast, like, you know, and just all of that. Now I got the rims, I had custom seats, you know, and all that. My initials was in the headrest, you know, all of that. So it's like that becomes a form of ingesting art in a way. And that's why I feel like anytime, especially if somebody's black and a master in it, I love it, because then I'm automatically gonna be like, how did you do it? You know, how did you get into this? I want to see how you did that, because that's something that's not familiar to me, and I just want to ingest it.
And all those the principles, the overlying principles that no matter what you're doing, it takes to be a master of what you're doing.
Yes,
and then you can apply that to yourself.
Yeah,
like I'm doing like 8 of those.
Right.
Okay, it explains why I'm here. Let me get on these other two.
Right. Yeah. Nah, definitely. But I mean, you know, with nerd culture, there's so many different subgenres and subsets of it that it can look like you're into a lot, but you're really just into nerd culture. Or
what's your big nerd culture staples?
Oh man, gaming.
Okay. Yeah. And what's your top games?
Ooh. The Last of Us, I would say, oh man, that's a big one. Oh, there's so many. Pokemon.
Okay.
That's like picking a favorite child.
Yeah,
I can't.
I
you know what I mean? I have different favorite games from different eras. I've owned literally every system. Major, I'll say major, because there's definitely some side systems out there. That
I got my Dreamcast out there. The PlayStation.
Hey, shout out Brian, my homie Brian Christopher, who was in Hardball. He has my Dreamcast. I passed it off to him. Take good care of it. I hope that thing is still kicking, man, because I'm kind of mad I passed it off to you low key. But such a great system.
Original 2K.
I see the original PS1. Just the relics.
64.
The 64.
I got the PSP.
One of the favorites. Okay. The PSP is such an underrated. Hey, Sony,
extremely.
Go ahead and come out with another PSP, please.
Yeah.
Just from us. You'll do amazing. And the PS Portal does not count because, first of all, the thing is huge. And I don't want to have to carry around a controller with a screen on it. We want a proper handheld.
It's an iPad Pro that only does PlayStation.
Exactly. So, yeah, we need a proper handheld, Sony. Okay, that's a good little holdover, but give us the PSP.
It's baffling because the original PSP was so underutilized.
Yeah.
Like, it was an incredible, like, I think it's just the UMD.
It's just the format that it was on just was not adopted majorly, and that will kill you. I mean, we see it.
HD DVD?
We see it happening now, and it just is going to continue. You always get those forms of media that people think is going to jump, and it's like, nope. So it just happened to be the one, unfortunately.
Digital.
I mean, you look at GameCube. As fantastic as a system as it was,
those little discs.
that form factor, they could not do anything with that beyond GameCube, you know. And I loved having something that was small and fun, form factor, portable, you know, and the disc didn't take up a whole, you know what I mean? Like
that's that Nintendo shit though.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo always was like, look, nah, we can't beat you in the whole graphics game.
Their thing is community.
But
they want, how can we get you to play more with your friends? Play any time of day. Yeah. We want you hooked to everything that we do. Pokemon, great. We want it out in the street. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We want you walking around on your cell phone like this. Like,
driving a car.
Exactly.
Trying to find.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
I think Nintendo's game is never going to be the tech. They're just going to worry about how close they can keep all of their player base. And the more they keep them in that
and
cult,
it's affordable.
Oh yeah,
like that's
well, them Joy-Cons got a little expensive when they was drifting. So I have a Switch, and the first generation, especially, I mean, second generation too, but the first generation was notoriously bad. The controllers that like come off the sides, the little. The thumbsticks would drift. So like you playing a driving game or something, and then the car just by itself, and you're like, wait, I didn't do that. So like, they had a horrible time where people were having. They cost $80 the set, right? So you doing a game and a half, you know, every time this happens. And I went through. I want to say I went through five sets before I got one that didn't drift. And these were like the third generation Joy-Cons that came out because they started suing. People started suing. And then when they released the stuff after people started suing, that was all right.
$400.
Yeah. I basically bought another system.
Yeah.
Yep. I got just literally I can open my little I got my little cord drawer with like, you know, random like little blocks and stuff. They're just sitting there just trash.
I hate shit like that because you don't want to throw it away because you know you paid for it.
Yeah, you don't.
But at the same time, like, you're like...
I'm really big on like making sure things are like recycled effectively. I don't want to just throw it away and it just end up in some stuff. You know, it is a tech part, you know, at the end of the day. So I'm like, I'm going to find some place to donate it or whatever. Some collector in a minute is going to be like, I want first generation Joy-Cons and I'm going to have the color that they want. And, you know, I'm a collector too. So I have comics and, you know, I did basketball cards for a while, you know, so I got a couple of those in storage, DVDs, you know, so like, you know, and old school VHSs, my Nickelodeon collection cannot be topped. It's in storage though. Everybody's always like, you got to show it. And I'm like, bro, I do not want to go into storage just to prove to y'all. Like, I
just to make a whole video.
Man, I got to make an appointment, got to call public storage. But no, it's in there, okay? It's mostly because all this stuff was in Chicago and I had to bring it here. But no, I got the orange tapes, you know, the VHS with the big bubbly. I got green. I got, you know, I have the full set of not only the Disney classics in that, but the Nick classics too. With like, I think I have like some Are You Afraid of the Dark tapes and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. Nah, it's crazy. But you know, we can always talk about that. But no, my collector stuff is great. So that's pretty much my lanes, like gaming. And, you know, collecting comics, anything. I just started Funkos. My girl got me on Funkos. So I got a couple. You know, I'm still fleshing it out. I'm trying to decide which direction I want to go. You know, I'm just getting my favorite characters right now, but we're going to see what happens after that. But yeah, man, gaming for me is such a release. It's such a great medium because, I mean, as you know, a lot of big name producers, directors, writers are going to gaming as a medium because it's just so... it's so different, you know, to be able to get a cinematic experience and interact with it is now something that's so achievable. And I think people are really starting to realize that, you know, and go, oh, wow, like I watched this movie for 2 hours and I loved it, but I wish there were some things that I could have kept going with, or I could have kept it. And that's what gaming provides for a lot of people. I see. So, you know, you get these stories. I mean, you see The Last of Us was made into a full-on #1 HBO show, you know? Yeah. So that's the type of stuff that people are playing on a daily basis. And it's like when you have stories that rich that can translate to screen like that, I'm a fiend for it. And I'm such a nut for games like that, you know, big cinematic, narrative driven, you know, really put the player into a world type game. Yeah. Right. Yep.
Damn. What kind of stuff do you think, like, in your perfect world, what kind of projects would you do next?
man, perfect world. I, again, like I said, really into gaming. I would love to head up, you know, the new IP, you know, when it comes to the gaming world, you know, whatever is the new story that hits that people gravitate towards, I would love to be the lead in that.
Guy.
You know, I love, you know, I'm a huge person watching like game conferences and going to Comic-Cons and stuff, and just that culture, you know, where people are just so thirsty. Like there will be people just lined up around the block waiting for that more. So, oh, they heard that new such and such is coming, you know, from this developer. We gotta be in line. We gotta get into the hall to see it. And I want to do that for sure. That's next. That's something I haven't done that I want to do. I recently played a serial killer in the Trace show Amazon show Trace, but I want to do something that's a little more in your face, because that one was kind of like a weird twist, sort of. I was a detective, but I was actually the killer type situation. So I think for me, being just an outright villain, I did the best friend, the nerd, the cool black guy. You know, I
those roles, right? Hey, so, man, what y'all up to?
You feel me? So the funny thing is, I'm actually writing a sort of pseudo reboot of Low Down Dirty Shame. Oh. And I'm doing it in like a limited series form. I do like 3 episodes, and I wrote myself in there as an antagonist.
Damn right.
So, you know, but yeah, you know, it deals with Shame and his little brother, who we find out that he has, who's in the military, gets dishonorably discharged, and Shame goes to pick him up from jail, and then chaos ensues. So yeah, I'm hoping that the Wayans hear me and want to take a peek, because that's almost ready, and I really would love to work that out, because I'm very big on like, you know, we get so many reboots of stuff that I feel like it's like, why? And I'm like, man, if we gonna reboot something, let's reboot some great black stuff. Like that's the stuff that I'd like to see updated with new visuals and you know, new stuff, you know, or a new cast. Right? Yeah, exactly. Come on, you feel me? I actually also am trying to get in talks to do a riff off a new Look Who's Talking. I don't know if you remember that movie with the talking babies. John Travolta. I want to do a black version. I want it with a black family and black babies. So yeah, look, I'm with that producer shit. So you know, just everybody.
You direct as well too.
I do. I have a small boutique production company, Gray Skies Entertainment. Just right now, I'm really big on I'm a stickler for perfection, unfortunately, and I'm really big on, I'm not gonna reveal things till they're ready. I'm not gonna do anything, shop anything till it's ready. And I had the opportunity to film some things myself, but like I said, I've been just really percolating and just really making sure everything is cooked, you know, to perfection. So we have a lot of huge fantasy properties. I've got an animated show. We've got a shared universe, shared fantasy universe that features black werewolves that I'm doing with my guy Brandon Jackson. Shout out BJ. When I tell you that story alone, we have this shared universe with Werewolf Suit. Shout out Cleo, because I talked to him about it. We gonna definitely get him LOI'd for sure.
I believe
and it would just be a cool thing to see black people in this fantasy universe where they're not a token or not something where it feels like we're the enslaved people or we're the antagonist in a way where we fit to be that sort of fall guy or that kind of thing. Yeah. And I feel like we've just gotten put there with the exception of very few properties when it comes to the fantasy world. So this is going to turn everything on its head. We've got, I studied Vodun for like 2 years, which is where voodoo was based off of, is West African voodoo. And that's where it started. And it's very super powered, you know, very deity, almost Avengers-like, you know, when they have, you know, these rituals and things. And so it's just been a joy building this universe we've been doing it, I mean, I want to say 5 years. Yeah. And just been, you know, we're getting to the point now where we're putting words to page and just seeing all the documents and all the stuff that we have and getting everything ready. And like I said, we were finally coming. I finally feel ready to put it on wax. It's like, this is probably the first time we've even mentioned, you know, the certain stuff that we're doing, but yeah, we're excited to really get stuff going. So yeah, anybody who is interested in getting any of that put to screen and made in any capacity,
let's
holla at your boy.
Let's go.
Because we are ready to do it. And it's great. I've been writing for now 20 years, you know, like screenwriting, like professionally. I did the Screenwriters Fellowship when I was 16 and won out here. So that's something that I take very seriously. Like screenwriting to me is a very serious game. So from everything that I've developed, I've shot shows at Lifetime and certain places in Lionsgate. And I feel like for me, I'm really getting to the point where I'm finally like honing in that business aspect of getting all that stuff done. It's gone from a creative hobby passion to now like, okay, I can do this, you know, especially when I see stuff out now and I'm like, bruh. you know how much shit comes out and I go, man, really? Wow, that you know, I got stuff in the vault that I wrote when I was 15 that now, you know, I wrote the movie that I wrote about, the Pride off the Project X Party. I wrote it literally, I think I was 18 when I finished it. You know, so this is a script, and I when I tell you I've passed that script off periodically to people, just hey, read this, tell me what you think about it, and everybody thinks I wrote it yesterday. And just with a couple of choice jokes and stuff that I got to swap out certain, you know, celebrities and shit for, right? Yeah, exactly. But, you know, when it comes to that, I'm like, yo, we really got something. So I urge everybody, if you feel like you got stories or you have stuff that, man, I have this idea and I want to put it down on paper. Number one, that's what we specialize in at Gray Skies Entertainment. I can help you put your idea to page and make it pitchable. But yeah, no, for real, like, do it. You know, even if you don't go to anyone, just do it. Just write it. That's how my producing partner got started. He had no clue, no formal entertainment, training or anything like that. And he just literally Twitter DM'd me and just, I have an idea. And I know you're dope, you know, in VO or whatever. And I'm just like, man, like, I'm not a creator. I'm not like that, you know. But luckily when he approached me, I had just kind of come off my round of doing my first pitch meetings and stuff. And I was like, feeling like, can I do this? Like, am I, you know, because that kind of fell in my lap. I didn't seek that out. And I ended up producing something and I ended up doing that. So I was just like, am I cut out for this? You know, and started with him. And like I said, I'm excited. I don't even want to really talk more about it, but it's coming. Just keep an eye out on everything when it comes to my socials, because we're going to be revealing stuff slowly but surely. And like I said, we are looking for people to join on with this. So, yeah.
Man, listen.
Sorry about my commercial real quick.
No, hell yeah. I didn't know you.
Bro, man. You were so I went to film school. That's right out the gate. When I was in Even Stevens, I went to film school for a while. Brooks Film School, in fact, in Ojai out here. And I was supposed to do UCLA, but they only had screenwriting at the time. And I didn't want to do, or no, they didn't have screenwriting at the time. And I wanted to major in screenwriting. Right. So for me, I was like, I don't want to go to UCLA to be a part of something where I don't really have the passion for that specific thing. So instead I went to Brooks, and I was there for a year before I booked Bring It On. And then I had to drop. So, and I never went back, but just from that, and then I continued to write and continue to just kind of, like I said, hone my craft. And like I said, I just ingest a lot of this stuff so that I can make sure I'm like, okay, this is what this audience likes. This is what this network likes. But how can we formulate that to be the best, sort of marriage of those things, and also be us, also get what we want to say out. So that's what I've been doing with all the properties under Gray Skies, so that we can kind of have that variety again, where it's like, that's just good TV with black people. It's not black TV, because, you know, we will look at stuff like that and see that, what do you think other races, and say they put that stamp on it so quickly. And it's just, that's what it is. It's just black. And it comes with whatever stigma that person has.
This is why Jordan Peele is Jordan Peele now, because he made a movie with black people, but it didn't feel like a black movie. That sticker they want to put on.
Yeah.
And you don't see that. It's like, I'm tired of our content pandering to us.
Yeah. And not even pandering to us. It's pandering to general ideals and situations that we were put in.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because we still got to go. I mean, you know, people don't like to get that deep when it comes down to media, but we go to the fact that all of these hood or ghetto or black ratchet situations, and I use those quotations because I don't really believe in those words, but all of that stuff that people see and put those pins on, it's like, but we got put in that situation.
And not only that,
right?
We probably didn't produce it or create it.
Boom.
There's only one guy I know who produces some stuff that's questionable who's black.
I was just talking about this the other day with my girl because we were watching something, and the guy was, you could tell, trying to talk hip. Oh, it was Breaking Bad, actually. And it was Jesse. And, you know, the first season of Jesse, it's cringe.
That's what made me not not really like him in the show in the beginning, because it's
he's like, what are you doing here, yo? Hey, man. You know, and it's like, bro, bitch. That's how they see.
Yeah.
That's how they see us. But yeah, it's just, knowing all of that, it's been fueling just my drive and just not only the properties that I take in, but, you know, whatever I'm producing or whatever I'm writing, I'm just always like, how can I turn this on its head and make this be where these black people are not experiencing something black. They're just doing. They're
just
living.
Experiencing
and
life.
Whatever it is, it's just going to be funny. It's going to be inherently black because that's what it is.
Right.
It doesn't have to have the stamp of it on there. You don't have to do that. So I just feel like with me, doing other genres is key. Because it's like a lot of times people see those pins and see that stamp because they can't see us in other things. They can't see us in the space epic. They can't see us doing the spy caper or whatever. Shout out to Kevin Hart doing Lift.
Yeah.
By the way, namesake Gary Gray directed that. Who is, oh my God, talk about black people that should be getting their due, that do their thing and don't have a stigma on them is one. Like Gary Gray right there. I mean, to go from Friday to The Negotiator to Set It Off to Be Cool.
He just makes good,
Fast
good content.
You know, just good content.
Right.
You know, and it's so possible. It's so possible. So yeah, shout out to them doing their thing. But I think that stuff like that is really important. Seeing Kevin Hart be the top thief in just different roles where it doesn't have to be that, you know. I loved it. Love it.
But listen, bro, I know that there's no one better to make black content that isn't that stamp of black content.
I'm trying.
As somebody who's been in some of the best shows that just so happen to have black people in them.
That's true.
Cosby, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters.
Man.
These are all the things you're talking about. You've already seen the blueprint. You're going to fucking do it. Yes. I already know it, bro. Just, I want to see more content from you, though. Yeah.
I told myself this year, I mean, Brandon says it, he's like, we got to do it. Just do it.
There's so many things the fact I know you.
Yeah.
And mind you, people have told me this, which is why now it's like I'm on the move. But it's like, the fact that I know you and I didn't know so much of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Everybody says that. They're like, yo, we didn't know this. We didn't know that. You're so low key. And I prided myself in it for the longest time. Like, I just stay out of the way. I just was never a party dude.
And that's the way to be.
That's the way to be. And, but now I'm seeing that there are some benefits. As far as what I want to do, especially with the production company, those are benefits. There are definitely things underlying in that kind of thing.
There's people who don't remember or don't think to call you.
Yeah.
And they would have called you before the other 10 assholes they have to call.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I haven't had I haven't had theatrical representation for 5 years now. So, that's what we was talking about. Like just simply that, just knowing that I'm not even getting those calls at all because how low key I've been. And I'm just in my head, I'm like, I'm good. I'm doing VO. I'm not getting greedy. I'm not trying to be, I'm good. I can't complain. And that's where like now everybody's getting like, you don't want to just be content.
No,
like,
hell no.
You good, but just
and not only that, you're too fucking talented.
Man,
like no. Like seriously, bro. No. Like there's some people. It's like, hey man, you working?
Right.
Shut up. Keep it going. Don't fuck it up. Listen, you can,
don't change nothing.
Yeah, don't change that. Keep going. That's the rest. No, you're not that guy. So like,
I appreciate
please, whatever it is, whatever content it is, whether just make them aware a little bit more of even as far as just your history, as far as writing, because I know there's so many people who respect you and would love to work with you.
Yeah.
They don't know. Or also, it's like when shit isn't in your face, you just don't fucking know.
And that's the thing. I'm not
You're
in
not
anybody's face.
In nobody's face. No.
Ever. But I think that's now, like I said, I'm changing that because there's a lot of things that I'm trying to set out to do this year, doing a YouTube channel, trying to do some travel stuff, Disney stuff with my girl. And, you know, even that, like we go to Disneyland all the time. And now we're trying to like do some test runs. And we just noticed, like, we can't even enjoy being here.
I know, bro.
Like, we're always saying, okay, we got to go to the bar. We got to film it. And then she's like, okay, I got these 3 TikToks lined up, these 3 sounds, and we got to do that. And it's like, by the time we do it, it's like, oh, now we got to jump to the next thing. And we can't even just go get a churro or, you know. So even that has just been a change. Because like I said, I'm that guy. I'm going to enjoy. And I'm not somebody who turns a eye or a shoulder away from the industry. Right. Like a lot of people take that as like, oh, he's standoffish. He doesn't like people to come up to him or anything. Like, I'm the opposite. Yeah. Like, I'm so like down, hey, like, you want to just sit there and rap about whatever you like, I love this role, please. As somebody, last time I was at Disneyland, they were wearing we were at Universal wearing a Rocket Power jacket. And I was just like, hey, I was like, shout out. And I was like, I voiced Sam. And they were like, no way. And I was like, we sat there and talked for a little bit. And they were like, oh, we feel so bad keeping you. I'm like, no, like I called you out, you know? So with stuff like that, like for me, it's just been a change trying to switch to, you know, just enjoy yourself, especially like I said, the point I'm at in my career where I'm not trying to do nothing that I don't want to do. Yeah. You know, so it's whatever makes me happy and fulfills me. That's where I'm at. So with me now switching and being on a schedule and doing a routine and figuring out new things and setting spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff, it's like, it's a lot, but I see the end goal. And for me, the end goal is just what drives me. I'm just like, look,
it's worth it.
If it means that my content's going to be out there, that, you know, my shared universe is going to be the next big thing, then cool, let's do it. You know, so that's where we're at. You know, that's what I hope people can expect. And definitely this year, I'm definitely getting more content now. We already doing that. I'm doing a lot of Comic Cons actually. I'm gonna
go.
Yeah, you know, I got a con agent. Picked that up, and it was so weird because I was like, I asked my current agent, I was like, I kind of want to do Comic Cons, and she was like, oh, I don't know much about that, you know, I do your voiceover, but I'll see what's up, and just lo and behold, like literally put it out in the universe and manifested, it'll come to you. I had Nigeria Gardner, shout out to Nigeria and Prestige Appearance Agency. They just DM'd me and was like, look, we absolutely love your work. Can you let us just do this for you? And instantly, when I tell you, like, I ain't never seen somebody just go to work. Like, damn. I mean, I think I've been signed a couple weeks and I'm booked at 3 cons already. I'm flying out to Atlanta April 25th through the 28th to do Urban Nerd Con over there with Giovanni Samuels. So we're going to do like a Bring It On thing and, you know, Disney thing. So stuff like that is just like new. And, you know, I have a cosplayer girlfriend now. And, you know, so she's been getting me into that. And it's like, even she, you know, she's got her own fans. And so then me cosplaying with her. And then now I'm getting into that. I'm like, new world. But at the same time, I absolutely am enjoying myself, and that's pretty much all I can say. And now it's about getting content out there that people can do the same with. So that's what I hope to just pay it forward.
Man,
you know?
You have a very bright future.
I hope so.
No, you do. Yeah, you do. You and listen, I know why you're quiet, because you're getting shit done. Yeah, listen, because I'm the same way. Until I intentionally started putting out content, bro, I be out the way because I'm doing shit. So check this out. Do you know how pissed off I was when I got this whole room done, and then I realized, fuck, I didn't put up a time lapse of me doing the shit. With right. What the It's because every day, because I'm really doing shit. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. But like, man,
I just set up a streaming desk and all that because I told everybody, I was like, I've been saying I was going to start streaming for like 3 years,
and that's something you could do because you like gaming. You're going to do it anyway.
Man, right? Exactly. So that's what everybody says. And when I tell you the amount of time, because I got like a crew on this game called Apex Legends.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
And so me and Mike play, and every time me and like someone else is on and someone like jumps in our party, like, because we always have to have a third, and they'll just be like, you know, some random player. I can't tell you how many times they've been like, we'll come on the mic and be like, yo, bro, y'all are funny as hell. Like, y'all are funny, bro. Y'all are a fucking riot. Like, y'all gotta stream. Y'all gotta do, like, people have asked for our YouTubes and we're like, man, we don't do it yet. But, you know, so I finally was like, you know, this year, some things are happening that just kind of really it's gonna fall into place really well. So let me go ahead and sow the seeds, you know, do this. So I set up a little, you know, streaming desk. I got the grass walled and you know, I got a neon and stuff. So I'm putting that up and you know, I'm like, same thing. I was like, I should have taped it and I did it. I put the music on my phone and I got to work.
I turned on a podcast, got a screwdriver, nigga started working.
Bro, my girl peeked in the room. She said, yo, you done? She said, okay. So, you know, stuff like that is just, like I said, a change, but it's just getting to the point now where I'm just going to be happy doing things I'm passionate about while getting the content to people. And so, yeah, streaming on the way. I want to get a PC rig before I really start doing it because I want to be official, even though I can start streaming from my PS5 or whatever. But like I said, I'm trying to get a rig. So, you know, for me, once I get all of that done, then we're really going to be in it. But we might do some test streams before here and there just to get the ball rolling. So we'll see.
Hey, let me know.
You already know.
I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
But, man, listen, bro, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me, man. Chicago legend. Like, I look, when the conversations come up, when people always ask me, like, people who, like, came up with me, people who auditioned with me, your name always pops up. Funny story. I totally forgot to mention this because I told myself to say it before we start the interview. But funny story, I actually used you in a pitch. Because to me, you like fit the role as a lead role in the show that I wrote. So like,
shit, yeah.
Whole season wrote. And it's so funny that I've never told you, but yeah, I could show you literally right after, like your whole name, just I'm gonna see. I might be able to pull it up because I think I just had to send it over as an example to my homeboy.
Damn, thank you.
But bro, like you to me are a person that when people talk about people like me, you know, or people like Chris, you know, coming from Chicago, doing it since we were as young as we could remember, coming up, still doing it, still trying to, you know, make our own way, be our own individual. You are one of the people that come up every single time. Every single time to me, because for me, it's like when you realize how long you've been doing it and what you are also doing, like not only the quality of your work, but the other avenues that you took, you know, is just, and then conquered every single one. When I tell you I respect it, bro, you are always at the top of my list when it comes to stuff like that.
Man,
so
thank you, bro.
For sure.
Same here, man.
I can't find. I'm gonna definitely find it after.
Hell yeah.
But nah,
I believe
when I tell you it's right. I believe. I put you right up there. I said, yo, this man gonna be perfect for this role. So
thank you, man.
I definitely appreciate you having me on, and I can't wait to see not only where this goes, but I already know the next thing popping up. So yeah, I can't wait, bro. The next chapter is just coming. So
even better.
Exactly.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
out. Peace.